Welcome to Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. I am so glad that you clicked on this video today. We did a chair flow earlier in the week focusing on the warrior poses. We've got warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3, reverse warrior, humble warrior, side angle, which is not really a warrior pose, but just fits right along with those. And all of these feel great in the hips, in the shoulders, and they help to build strength and balance in the legs. So let's go ahead and do a standing yoga practice today. You won't need to get down onto your mat. If you have blocks, that might be supportive for your practice as well. If you don't, you can always improvise a little bit, maybe coming up with some boxes or a rolled up blanket or towel or a firm pillow, something like that. You don't need the blocks though, but if you have them available, they can help support your practice. So let's go ahead and meet on the mat. So I have 2 blocks here with me today, and I like to just put them at the front of the mat, sometimes in the highest position, because then they're a little easier for me to grab. So we're going to start in mountain pose today, Tadasana. You can practice Tadasana anytime, any place. Maybe if you're waiting in line and you don't have your phone handy, or your neck is hurting so you don't want to use your phone. But Tadasana is just kind of finding a nice, tall, stable, grounded standing position. So let's find ourselves perfectly centered here. So lift those toes up a little bit and then roll forward a little bit so that you're on the balls of the feet. And let's just kind of make a circle here with the body. So lean forward and then kind of come over towards the right and then lean back and then over to the left and then forward again. And maybe begin to make these little circles smaller and smaller until you come to a place where you are perfectly centered, with the knees right over the ankles, the hips right over the knees, the heart right over the hips, and the head in line with the heart. And then let's open the arms up, allowing the palms to shine forward, drawing those shoulder blades down towards the back pockets and tucking the chin to keep the neck long and protected. And let's go ahead and just take 3 nice big cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth, maybe letting go with a big sigh, just dropping in and telling the body, it's all good right now. Again. One more time, maybe closing the eyes. And then bring the breath back to the nose, inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to start with just a little gentle warrior flow. So if you're not standing yet at the front of your mat, go ahead and take mountain pose, Tadasana, at the front of the mat. One more full breath here through the nose. And then we're going to take the hands to the hips and take a big step back with the right foot, and then turn the right foot just a little bit, just enough so that you can bring the right heel all the way down to the mat. So the toes are facing as far forward as you can get them here without lifting the heel. And if you need to make the stance a little bit shorter, that's definitely okay, but we want the front leg bent and we want the heel down on the mat, toes pointing kind of up towards the right corner of the mat here. Again, we want to find that alignment here, so we're going to bring that pelvis to the middle, the heart over the pelvis, the head over the heart. And you can keep your hands low here on the hips and just kind of rotate the upper body towards the front of the mat. So the hips are shining towards the front of the mat. The toes are going towards the front of the mat, but you've got this opening in the hip here. This is our warrior one legs. If you'd like to find full warrior one here, you can go ahead and reach those arms forward and up, coming alongside the ears, and maybe intentionally draw the shoulders up towards the ears before drawing them down so that the shoulder blades are coming down towards the back pockets. You can open up the arms here a little bit, coming into our V-shaped victorious pose, drawing those pinkies in towards one another, really pressing into the outside of that right back foot here, finding yourself evenly positioned over both legs so that they're supporting your weight equally. So we're not leaning too far forward, we're not leaning too far back. Warrior one right here. And then we'll drop the hands back to the hips and step forward into Tadasana. Take a full breath here, just reconnecting with that breath. And then we'll bring the hands back to the hips. Take the big step back with the left foot. Turn the left heel so that it's fully in contact with the earth, and then actively draw the hips towards the front of the mat. Bend that front knee, keeping the knee in line over the ankle here, and really press back into the outside back edge of that left heel. And then if you want to go for full warrior one here, you can lift those arms alongside the ears, tucking the chin, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, really pressing into the outside edge of that left foot, pressing into the ball of the foot in the right foot so the toes aren't all crinkled up here, knees over the ankle, warrior one or Virabhadrasana one. One more inhale here, and then let's exhale to release and step back to the front of the mat. Now we'll go for warrior two. Inhale here, step back with the right foot, but this time we're gonna open up that right leg so that the toes are pointing out towards the long edge of the mat. You might find that you wanna open the stance a little bit more here. Again, we wanna keep the front knee over the ankle, maybe kind of actively think about pressing the knee out towards the left so that it's not dropping inward and compromising the knee and the hip here. I'm gonna keep it over the knee, lift the toes and really press into the ball of the foot underneath the toes, and then replace the toes on the earth. The hips are open and forward this time, not towards the front of the mat, but out towards the side and to the front, like the front corner, like our toes were in warrior one. And the toes are pointed out to the long side of the mat. You can keep your hands low here, or you can spread the arms open, gazing out over the front fingertips, palms facing the earth. Really lift that heart, tuck those shoulder blades down, tuck the chin. Nice, strong warrior. Maybe gazing as far, far, far away as you can get to give those eyes a little bit of a rest. And then when you're ready to release, you can bring the hands back to the hips and step to the front of the mat. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. Stepping back and opening up the hip, maybe drawing back a little bit further here. Hips are oriented to that front left corner. Toes are out to the long edge of the mat. We can lift those arms up. And if you find that the shoulder blades are riding high, you can turn the palms up towards the sky, and that automatically draws the shoulder blades down the back. And then just turn the palms back over to the earth, leaving the shoulder blades where they are. Gazing out over those right fingertips, spreading wide through the collarbones, tucking the chin. Virabhadrasana 2 here. And then we'll release by dropping the hands back to the hips and stepping forward to the front of the mat. So this time we're going to come into warrior three. So we did 1 and 2. Now we're going to do 3. And if you're close to a wall like I am, you might want to step away from the wall a little bit to give yourself a little more room. You can bring the hands to the hips. Step back with the right foot. We're just going to come to the toe tips and keep the heel lifted here. We're not coming back very far, but we've got a gentle bend here in the front knee. And from here, you can begin to hinge forward in the hips. Now, in typical warrior three, the arms are lifted alongside the ears. You want to gaze out in front of you and find a nice stable focal point somewhere on the floor out in front of you, maybe 6, 8, 10 feet out ahead of you. And we're just going to kind of bend into that front lip, tilting forward, and begin to lift the right leg from the earth, pressing fully and evenly as you straighten the front leg, not locking the knee, keeping that gentle bend, but coming towards straight, keeping your gaze at your nice, stable focal point. Kind of dial those back toes down so that they're pointed at the earth and the hips are oriented to face the mat here. Now, if this arm position doesn't feel good for you, you can bring the hands to the heart, or you can find airplane arms and press back into those triceps. And when you're ready to come out, bring the hands to the hips and come back to your Tadasana. That one can be a little challenging, so you might want to take a moment here to find a couple breaths. Just to reconnect with the breath, let the heart rate settle. And when you're ready to go back to the other side, we'll bring the hands to the hips, step back with the toes, find your nice focal point down there, and then we'll begin to bend into the right knee, hinging forward at the hips, lifting the left leg up. And the left leg can come as high as parallel with the upper body, or maybe it's down a little lower than that. Dial those toes down so that they're pointing at your mat. And if you'd like to extend the arms for the full expression of the pose here, you can do that. Again, find that tucked chin and the lifted heart and the shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. There's a lot going on here. So find the arm position that works best for you. Hands at the heart, airplane arms, hands at the waist or the hips, or the full extension. And when you're ready to release, come back to your mountain pose. So there's warriors 1, 2, and 3. Virabhadrasana 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there's Sanskrit words for the numbers. I should look into that for sure. So now we can do a little bit of a flow here. Let's come back towards the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the hips. Now we'll go ahead and put a couple of these together. So from Tadasana at the front of your mat, we'll step back into our warrior 1. Lifting the arms up if that feels good to you today. Now you can get tricky here and come right into warrior 3 from warrior 1 by lifting the back heel, coming up onto the toes, keeping the arms raised, finding your focal point, and coming into warrior 3. And when you're ready to release, come back down. Same thing on the left side. We'll step back to our warrior 1 legs, toes pointed towards the front left corner, heel pressing to the earth, lifting the arms alongside the ears. And then when you're ready to come into warrior 3, find your focal point, keeping that knee over the front ankle. We'll lift up into our warrior 3, and then come back to Tadasana. And now for warrior 2 flow, we can take a big step back into our warrior 2. take our warrior two arms. And for reverse warrior, we can bring the right arm down to the right thigh, turn the left palm up to the sky, and reach the left fingertips upward. You can keep the gaze up towards the left fingertips, or you can look down towards the right foot here. Sometimes you will find a class where you're doing a flow from warrior two to reverse warrior. And now one of my most loved poses, you can bring that left forearm to the top of the left thigh and bring the right hand to the right hip for side angle, getting a nice stretch in the outside of the right thigh. We're gonna open up that right shoulder, look up towards the sky if that feels good, or out in front of you, keeping that chin tucked. And if you like, you can lift that arm up overhead, reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Or you can extend the right arm diagonally, dialing those pinkies inward, or that pinky, so that the palm is kind of facing behind you, but still opening that heart, and you will get a great stretch in the front of the right hip here. And this is where the block might come in handy, because you can use the block here to reach down towards the earth, reaching up towards the sky, or diagonally. You can change the level, coming down closer and maybe really extending the stretch all the way from the outside edge of the foot up to the fingertips. And then we'll come back to easy side angle, and then back to warrior two, and then we'll turn to face the front of the mat and step back to our Tadasana. Hopefully you didn't leave the block there for yourself to trip over. And then we'll do the whole thing again on the left side to even things out. Take a breath here, and then we'll step back to warrior two, raising the arms up, turn the palm up in the front and come back to reverse warrior. Inhale here, exhale warrior two, inhale here, exhale easy side angle. And as you continue to breathe, find the expression of the pose that works best for you, whether that's fingertips up to the sky or out overhead, or with a block. And then you can come back to easy side angle. And then inhale back to warrior two. And then come all the way back forward again. So now we'll put that all together for a nice little flow. Hands on the hips, take a breath to prepare. And then we'll inhale to step back to warrior one. Stay for that exhale. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Stay for that exhale. Inhale to come up to the back toes. Lift the back leg, coming forward into warrior three. And then exhale to replace the toes, and then open up into warrior two. Stay for a full breath here. We'll inhale, reverse warrior. Stay for that exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Stay for that exhale. Inhale, side angle. Whatever variation of this supports you. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Stay for that exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale to come back to the top of the mat into Tadasana. Take a breath. Reestablish your connection. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, stepping back to warrior one. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to raise the arms up to the sky. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to turn forward, maybe coming up a little forward on those back heels. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to hinge forward into warrior 3. Staying for the exhale. Inhale to open up into warrior 2. You know it. Exhale here. Inhale and exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale and exhale, warrior 2. Inhale and exhale, side angle. Inhale and exhale, warrior 2. Inhale and exhale, warrior 1. And then inhale back to Tadasana. And so that was a little tutorial on all 3 warriors, plus reverse and side angle. Let's just come back to Tadasana. That whole sequence kind of has me a little out of breath. So I'm just going to find some time here, and I encourage you to as well, to reconnect with the breath, to reconnect with your nice, tall, centered, grounded Tadasana mountain pose. Close the eyes. Maybe take 3 more cleansing breaths here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling to let it go out the mouth. Again. And then returning to breathing through the nose, we'll inhale the arms up towards the sky. Bring the palms together and exhale, hands to heart. I hope you enjoyed this little warrior tutorial. I'm not sure I can say that right. I know I did, and if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. If you think this might help someone else, please feel free to share it. All the best that is within me and the light within me honors and respects the best and the light within you. Namaste.